Oh, do I feel good today? What's up, universe? Welcome into your daily sports and sports betting brand of record. We like to call it Driving the Line. We're here every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm your boy, the coach, and I navigate this little ship. Now, if you have not watched DTL Golf, I encourage you to do so. It is live in your feed right now. Subscribe to this channel. Hit that like button every time you come in and share the show as we are almost a 4,000 subs in less than 2 months because of all of you. Now, we are also the most transparent show in all of sports betting. And thank God we've got a little man by the name of Allan Bell. My goodness, we have sports books calling us and saying, can you please stop with the college baseball winners? Can you please stop with all of those people walking to the pay window? And what do I say? I say, no damn way. What I say is we have our focus on college baseball, but also college basketball. If you haven't gotten your I am a Howie's homie t-shirt, I encourage you to do so. They are hot off the presses. There is the QR code. It will be up on the screen the entire show. Get yours today. And as you play in our March Madness bracket, and you know the bracket is everywhere in all of our bios, part of the prize pack for those of you who win or the winner will be one of those sweatshirts or one of those t-shirts, whatever you prefer. And you need to join that March Madness bracket right now because it officially starts tomorrow. And oh, by the way, the entire show tomorrow will be all college basketball. So with that being said, let's welcome in the hottest baseball capper on planet Earth. He is my partner. He is our five-tool player. AB, have you hosed yourself down for yet another glorious Tuesday night?
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, here's the problem. The books are never going to give us a full slate of games again. They're not going to do it. They're not going to do it at all. Shout out to everybody who parlayed all of them. I had multiple people reach out, made $1,100, $1,200 last night on those alone. That's fantastic. Love to see it. And look, the comment of the day is Jonathan Archer. Virginia's baseball team outscored their basketball team in the first half yesterday.
Oh, my goodness. 14 points. Wow. By the way, speaking of parlaying, do you remember yesterday, hashtag it pays to watch live, what I said about Dallas and Denver in the NBA? Remember we had that parlay question? Person,
Yes,
and I said, hey, I would actually parlay those two together. Well, what happened? Dallas and Denver didn't cover, but they did win. So if you parlayed those, if you watch the show live, you have another cash ticket. You're welcome. You see how I turned my losses into wins right there, AB?
Hey,
flip it on his head.
That's a veteran move, man. That's a veteran move. Well done.
It really is. All right, so the crew is salivating over their choices today. Where are we going?
Yep. Same thing as we saw on Tuesday. All right, you have 4 options here from 2 games. First 4 in the NCAA tournament. Grambling State plus 4.5, Montana State minus 4.5, or you go in Colorado minus 2.5, or Boise State plus 2.5. Poll is in the chat. Vote now, and we'll update at the end of the show.
AB, Goat's Head Fool just gave us our next t-shirt. He says the line for AB's new t-shirt, I feel sweepy. DTL. Oh, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I do like it. Get like a little broom emoji. I like
it. Like you laying your head down at 6 a.m. when you actually go to bed because you are the biggest night owl I have ever seen. All right, it is that time of the show. We can waste no more time. It's a busy day at the brand. So it's time for the picks. Oh, I love M. Notard in the chat. Said he took the Nuggets down to 5.5. Catched a plus 190 parlay. Thanks for the idea, Coach. That's why we do this thing together. And I've got 3 of my absolute very best today. The man from the dirty Charles is always here, just lurking in the shadows. Then my man from Memphis, Tennessee, Daniel Greer is back. And, of course, a man who's part of the crew. He is the Z-Man from South Florida.
Morning, everyone. Hello.
Morning. Daniel,
hello.
Haven't seen you in a while. You're very me and Z like to go with the bald head look. Charles and AB are always with the hats. You're almost too clean cut for DTL.
Listen, I gotta look good. I'm on here with you. First time. I'm gonna talk a little bit more this time than I did last time. So yeah, I had to clean up myself a little bit.
All right. I like it. I appreciate the respect. All right. By the way, in the chat right now, you know how big the chat is to us. Raphael is in the chat. Howie Schwab is in the chat. You have any questions for them, put them into the chat. They will answer them in real time. Gentlemen, we got a lot to do. We got a lot to talk about. So, Daniel, since this is your first time back, I want to just start. Because we're going to kind of jump around today. We got a lot to discuss. But you have one NBA prop. Just give me the one and tell me why Draymond Green popped up for you today.
So if you look at Draymond Green, like the dude, like he doesn't score a lot. I have him actually set for 9.78 points tonight. So I like his number over the 6.5. But if you look at Draymond, they try to get him in the game very early. Last night, he only scored 2 points. But when did those first 2 points come? In the very first quarter. I wouldn't doubt if you see a corner three out of Draymond to open the game. So listen, I know the juice is a little bit high, and I know it's worth the squeeze here. But at minus 135 over at DraftKings, I had to hit it. It's a play that I love. I've actually put 2 units on it. I don't like talk about units, but I think it's a 2-unit play for me personally.
For those of you who are brand new to betting, and a lot of you drop in here every day, what he means by that is whatever your unit size is. Let's say it's $100. That's what we kind of use here. So $100, that means he bet $200 on this play. That's how much he likes it. Now, we don't normally do that, but we're just explaining. Hashtag educate, entertain. All right, hang tight, Daniel Greer. By the way, TJ says, I got a taste of Big Cheesy Life yesterday as I was poking fun at the coach on the golf show, and I was having a blast. That's my glare, TJ.
I love it.
Glare. All right, Charles. We got to get to the ice quickly. We got 2 plays. I'm only going to go one here first because I'm going to go down to Dallas. The Mavericks last night, they could not cover for me, although the parlay piece was nice. But let's go to the ice. Same building. Talk to me.
Yeah, we have the Dallas Stars and Arizona Coyotes. Dallas has owned this matchup, winning 8 of their 10 most recent games versus the Yotes. This encounter also produces goals, with 4 of the last 6 going over the total. And Dallas home games have been an auto tail for high-scoring events, with 14 of their 20 played on home ice cashing the over. So we're just going to keep this one simple. Take the over 6 total goals. Dallas Stars, Arizona Coyotes.
Keep it simple. That's what it's all about. You don't got to get it funky. All right, Charles, I'll come back to you in a second. Now, Z-Man, I love it when great minds think alike. And as I was looking at the NBA slate today, I saw a few games that I really liked. And then I saw your picks, and I said, I don't like them. Damn it, I love them. So let's go. You got 2 big ones right now. What do you like?
Well, it's going to be in the same game. And this is there's a ton of NBA tonight because they're trying to get all the games out the way. You got the tournament tomorrow, the tournament Friday, all the madness, all right? So a lot to choose from. But you know what I did? This is one of those nights where I'm a man of the people here, all right? So I look at the slate, and let's go with the game that's on national TV so everybody can participate. You could put a little wager down. You got something to watch today on a Wednesday night, helps you get through the week. So it's on ESPN tonight. It's a great game. I mean, it's Milwaukee and Boston. I like the Celtics big in this one. The Celtics are laying 8.5, and you may be saying, Zaslow, I can't believe you like the Celtics. I hate the Celtics. The Celtics get no love in the Zaslow mansion. I hate them like poison, but I don't hate them as much as I love money. I hate the green on the Celtics jersey. I love the green in my wallet. So 8.5 for the Celtics. They're smoking teams at home. Like, they're already an incredibly high scoring team. They average 121 on the season. But at home, they are murdering teams. And you got a banged up Milwaukee team who I don't trust anyway. The Bucks are so much better at home than they are on the road. I think Boston blows them out tonight. So I like the Celtics minus 8.5. And I also like the over in this game. 225.5. I think the Celtics can easily score 130 in this game. I mean, if the Celtics score, the Bucks, they're not a great defensive team. They're better after the All-Star break, but the Celtics can totally score 130. And then you're looking at the Bucks. Can they just score 100? And you're well over. It feels like somebody made a mistake there. So I got 2-0 right there for you guys.
You're always a man of the people. You're always a man of the people. The Z-Man. I loved the over. That was actually my favorite play the Bucks Celtics over. Both teams are really an over. And I believe this, and you tell me, Z-Man, if you do, that because of the national TV issue, I think players actually look at these games, and I know they're always A team against A team, but I think it matters a little bit to the flow and how much teams score. You?
Well, I certainly think it matters to a team like the Celtics tonight because they're playing with a chip on their shoulder, not just tonight, but the entire season. I feel like the Celtics are playing with a chip on their shoulder. You know, my Miami Heat, they embarrassed them again last year. So going into this season, the Celtics by far the best record in the NBA the entire season, and they really are taking the regular season super serious. Most teams don't take the regular season super serious. So yeah, then when you add to it, it's a national TV game. I think you get a big-time effort out of the Celtics tonight. I think they smoked the Bucks.
I absolutely agree. The last 30 seconds, let me tell you this. Do you want to do the work? That's why the Z-Man is so good. That's why he's a part of the crew. Let's go. Now, we're going to get to how he picks in a second, but how the show's going to flow, we're going to flow right into college basketball. So I do want to fix that. Oh, my goodness, it's already fixed. That's how good Producer Man is. It is San Francisco, not South Florida. Cincinnati under 142.5. For those of you just dipping in to the show, where were you at the top? Now, Daniel Greer, let me come back to you because you've got an NBA parlay that I absolutely love. Let's go to that right now.
Yeah, so you're looking at Jalen Duren, and he's a guy that you can pretty much cash on with him being a double-double machine. 38 out of the 53 games that he's played this year, he's actually hit for a double-double. Usually the only reason he doesn't is because of foul trouble. I expect him to stay out of foul trouble. And the tricky thing is, and what I've kind of learned from AB over the years, is it's okay to kind of get a little creative. And you can't really parlay a double-double. And so what I've done is just kind of done the whole, spread it out. 10 points, 10 rebounds, and then you can include some kind of a juice reducer. It's in the same game. It's the Pacers money line. And so I think that brings it down. It's a bite-sized number for a team that I think is going to win by 10, 15 points, and to a guy who I think is going to crush this number.
I hate the fact that AB's head is already as big as it could possibly be with his college baseball hits, and now you're going to give him credit for how you approach your takes on the show.
Some love.
Hey, welcome in. Yeah,
Damn.
Welcome back.
Damn. I don't even know how I feel about that, Daniel Greer. All right. Now, I'm going to go because I have golf, and it's in my veins, the Valspar Championship, the last swing in the Florida swing for a lot of players. And here are my two. Now, Nick Taylor over Adam Hadwin. That is a full tournament matchup, minus 115. And I'm taking the hit on this one because I sent this in so late. It's not on Producer Man. It's not on AB. It's on me. This is a tournament pick to be clear. Then, Justin Thomas, minus 130 over Tony Finau. I absolutely love this play. Nick Taylor has been getting off to really hot starts over Adam Hadwin. He's been great. He's already won this year in Phoenix. Love that play. JT, he likes playing this particular course. Now, Tony Finau hasn't played here in 6 years. So I'll take JT, even though he missed the cut last week. Motivation today. Those are my two plays. I'll have one more in our crew exclusive. If you're not a member of the crew and you haven't watched our March Madness stuff and all of our extra episodes there, I encourage you to do so right now. Hit that join button. It's the best value in all of sports betting. Now, Charles, let me come back to you, big boy, because out here on the West Coast, we have a little team called the LA Kings. They sneak up on people. And today, you think there's going to be some defense in this game. Talk to me.
Yeah, I certainly do, Coach. LA Kings welcome Minnesota Wild to town. Both teams come in riding the under train, with Minnesota staying under the total in 5 of 6, and the LA Kings in 4 of 5, with 8 of their last 10 at home also staying under the number. These teams have also produced less than 6 goals when playing one another in LA, with 4 of those 6 games cashing the under. So I'm going to go ahead and back under 5.5, as I definitely can see a defensive battle in this matchup, the Kings and the Wild.
I encourage you to follow my man. What is it? At ROI Capper. That's your handle on X.
Yes. And add the 1, Coach.
And add the 1. You're damn right. Add that 1. Now, there's nobody that gives out more free picks, more advice, is available 24/7 than my man right there. Follow him on social media. Follow his stuff. He does all the sports.
I want to know what he did to ROI Capper 0. Get rid of his ass.
I have a feeling we don't want to know. All right. Now, we've gotten Z's picks from the NBA. We got my golf picks. We've got Charles and his hockey. And DG, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to call you, Daniel, here on the show. But I'm going to figure it out, see what rolls off the tongue. But we've got
Debo.
What do you like? Debo?
Debo.
Charles likes Debo. Interesting. By the way, Jeremy, thank you very much. You guys are getting so lazy out there. When you come into the show, hit the like button and then start talking. That's all you got to do. Just hit the like button. Don't make me take something away from you, because you know I will. All right, it's time to talk March Madness. AB, Howie Schwab sent in 3 plays today, and DG, I want you involved in this as well. Colorado -2.5. Colorado Boise State over 140.5. That game is at 9:10 p.m. Eastern time. So let's start with that one. Colorado clearly, Howie thinks, is going to play well tonight. And also that game will have a lot of points. AB, your thoughts?
I love playing the over there. All right. Look, if Howie likes Colorado -2.5, I like Colorado -2.5. That's how this thing goes. Balin for show. Welcome. New member. Thank you, man. We appreciate that. Look, I love where Howie's going with this over. All right. And you can see that we'll talk about it in a second. I'm on the same mentality that these first 4 games, they freaking matter to these schools. And what you're seeing is not only in the second half of games when teams are up by 3 late, that the team that's up will actually foul the other team so that they don't get an opportunity to shoot a 3, that they just go straight to the free throw line and shoot 2, get the ball, rinse and repeat process, right? So we're seeing that. We're seeing time getting extended in the second halves because, again, these games matter, and we're seeing low spreads here. So you always want a good back and forth. That's what leads to overs. Blowouts lead to unders.
Now, I know that you love AB and everything that he says, but Daniel Greer, when you're looking at games and you're handicapping March Madness games, do you factor that in if you're looking at a total?
Yeah, you got to look at that. That's the most important thing that AB said there is normally in the regular season, you're going to look at one possession that's going to be a foul shots before the other team comes down and takes a shot before they let that game kind of go. And you might see 2 possessions. In actually March Madness, you could see 4 possessions where they foul to bring them down to shoot free throws to try to get back in the game, get those late second shots. That's the biggest thing I see. And you're talking about 2 teams that can easily get to 70 points here. Factor in the foul stuff, and you're easily cashing. I think I have this game at 146, and so I do love that play right there from Howie.
All right, so you got about 6 points of value on your model in this particular game. By the way, Raphael agrees with you, AB. He says, look at the Wagner game. Perfect example. We hit that over because of that, right?
They were up like 12 with like 2 minutes left, and then almost tie game. I mean, it was that quick. Yeah, 100%.
Look at Justin. He's having a little FOMO from your college baseball picks already.
Dude, like, I'll say this, man. It was tough. So I was going through it. So, like, the slate, there's only 2 ranked games, and there's some, mid-major teams that are out there. By the way, shout out to everyone who played the Indiana overs. We're riding the hell out of that one. And then Campbell scores 9 million runs a game. But I was taking a look at Louisiana Tech today. That's a good baseball team that doesn't get enough credit. I'm not saying roll with them because I didn't feel comfortable enough. But yeah, you might want to take a look there, man. There's some value out there, but it's tough. You got to scrap for it.
By the way, go to our YouTube page. We posted it yesterday. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, we've got our This Week in Baseball feature that AB takes you through the entire week and gives you kind of a little cheat sheet, if you will, in college baseball. Now, Z-Man, let me come to you. By the way, Howie has San Francisco, Cincinnati under 142.5, and I give that out, but we don't discuss unders because I hate unders, but they do cash. 1 of 7 NIT games tonight. Z-Man, you didn't get a chance to hit on this yesterday, but as we talk about March Madness, there has been a conversation going out there, and I know you're on ESPN radio all the time these days. I hear you everywhere in my car, and I heard a show the other day talk about the fact that some of these top players could actually opt out after a Sweet 16 run if they don't get more NIL money. Do you think there's any truth to that? What would be your thoughts if a Zach Edey said, I need another 50 large?
Wow. I haven't heard very much about that. I got a hard time believing that's going to wind up happening. I know that's a trend, obviously, that has been happening, especially recently in college football, but we haven't seen it in college football with the kids who are playing in the playoff games. All right. It hasn't quite hit the big games in college football. So with that said, I have a hard time believing that it winds up happening in the men's basketball, especially in the NCAA tournament. Now, you do have some teams that are opting out of the NIT, and I would imagine, hey, if you have some of these teams who, instead of opting out, they were playing, I could see some kids opting out of the NIT, NIL, same reason that kids are opting out of some of the bowl games in college football. I have a hard time believing there's so much prestige when it comes to the NCAA tournament. I have a hard time believing that will wind up happening there. And I think you also got to consider the college basketball teams. We're talking 15 kids on a roster. When you look at the college football teams, you're talking, there's like close to 80 kids on the team. All right.
Yes.
So it's you really feel like you're letting your teammates down in that locker room if it's just you and 14 other kids. So I don't see it happening with the men's basketball, women either. I don't see it happening. It's interesting. Maybe we wind up getting there at some point, but I don't think we're close to that happening.
If there is a Dustin Johnson of college basketball, this would be where we would see him. And what I mean by that is Dustin Johnson is the only golfer that went to live that does not care what you think. I can't even imagine as a college kid if I did this, even facing my teammates, even facing my fan base, even walking back into the locker room. If you opted out because you wanted more NIL money, stop it.
And I think also, with the football, we're talking about there's a major danger element to playing football. Freak injuries happen, of course, in basketball, but it's not remotely the same thing. So I don't see it happening.
I agree with you. Now, let's get right back to the court because this is how we flow. I love how we flow these days. Now, Daniel, I'm looking at Indiana State, and they've got a guy that for anybody who has a dad bod, for anybody who just says, you know what, has there ever been another person not in the greatest of shape, doesn't look like that cut-up college star? Oh, the Sycamores. They've got him, and you like them in their next game. Explain yourself, sir.
Well, speaking of nicknames, he has every one of them. My recent big nickname was the Big Dumb Animal. I don't know why. I'm not going to ask the guy why he named me that, but that was my nickname. But you're talking about an Indiana State team that was left out of the tournament, has a lot to prove. A 6.5 at -120. I'm not scared of that number. I think they win by 10+ points. But also, speaking of the nicknames, let me read off some of his best. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Nerd, Steph Blurry, College Jokic, and then my favorite is Milk Chamberlain. That's my favorite.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. At one point, I don't know if it was like 3 weeks ago, AB, you just randomly sent me a text with a picture of this dude on it.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is like the best dude in college basketball. Yes. He's a legit player.
He's a baller.
He's a baller.
Dude, he's a ball. If anybody hasn't seen this guy, I mean, he looks funny. He's got the Chris Sabo specs.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
With the goggles. But this dude can ball, man. Like, he's not thin at all, but this dude can get down, man. He's awesome.
Hey, D, I need you to send me those names because we got to tweet those out and see what the universe thinks is the best one of those nicknames that this cat has. So, but we need him to catch first and foremost. All right. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we've got one play left. And I believe, AB, it is yours in the first play-in game tonight in Dayton, Grambling and Montana State. Explain to me, sir, why you believe there will be points in this one.
Yeah, these are two good basketball teams, all right? They obviously don't get enough credit on the national stage as, the regular Blue Bloods do. But we're going to take that over 134.5 between Grambling State and Montana State. And again, I mean, it goes back to not only two good basketball teams going to be going head-to-head, all right? They really, really, really care about this damn game, and they want to win. And like we said, at the end of the second half, you are seeing fouls go up, which is, obviously causing point production to go up, which is exactly what we want, and being played in a primetime manner. Not that we bet on that, but I cannot remember who had the stat. I know our man Robbie Hockey was dropping some elite stats in the chat yesterday, but early games on Thursdays, Fridays, in the NCAA tournament, they tend to go unders. But night games tend to go over, man, and especially in these games where these two schools have been thinking about it all day, sitting in a hotel room all day. Go get your shoot around, go get a snack, all right? Then come back like you're ready to go. So, yeah, man, over 134.5. Can't wait for it tonight. Also, they asked about college baseball in the chat. Washington State, all right? Their last 3 wins, they've scored 35 total runs in those, going up against a Seattle team that's not having a good season. Washington State should handle their biz tonight. Bobcats right there, averaging 86 points per game the last 5. Yes, sir.
Our numbers guy, and I do appreciate all of you in the chat. Always when you're wondering when Raphael's not here, where's Raphael? Well, he told you that he's having some issues. His mother had surgery, so clearly he's not going to be on the show, but he's in the chat. That's dedication to the product. And you all are being very empathetic, which is what the chat is all about. So thank you for that. But any surgeries can't keep Raphael away from the right number. And he finds Bobcats. 86 points a game. Love you, Raphael. We'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, gentlemen. March Madness is everything to us. So, Charles, I'm going to dip you off just for a second because we got some upsets to talk about with the crew. So it's time to hashtag educate, entertain. Let's go. Ooh, I love that song. All right, now 2 more play-in games tonight. Then tomorrow, it's going to be all March Madness. 16 games today, spread out from noon all the way until 10 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. We will be ready. But, gentlemen, because of NIL, because of parity, because of the transfer portal, there's more even matchups in college basketball than ever. So, DG, I'm going to start with you. A 16th seed is not out of the realm of possibility that you look at. When I look at Purdue, North Carolina's playing Wagner, UConn's playing Stetson, Houston is playing Longwood. Give me your 16 seed that you could make a case for getting an upset in the first round.
Listen, the only one that I would go with is Wagner because, one, I just saw them play. And so it's very much recency bias, but it's also I hate North Carolina. I don't think they're good. I think Hubert Davis is not a good coach. And because of all that, I have to lean on Wagner, who I don't think is that good either. But you're talking about a team that just, one shining moment. That's all we need, coach. And we'll cash.
My favorite 2 minutes and 22 seconds of the entire year. When they went away from Luther Vandross, Z-Man, that was a dark, dark day. And then, Jennifer Hudson, she was okay. But then you bring it back to Luther. Now everything is good again. Now, Z-Man, let me ask you this before I come to AB. I don't know when it shifted because you're our NBA guy, but it shifted a few years ago, and I don't know what the reason is. But now, more than ever, 1s and 16s, and we'll get to the 2 and 15s, they now have a chance. Why do you believe that is?
Oh, I think the transfer portal has played a major role, okay? And the way that the transfer portal has played a major role is you got some of these smaller schools who are dipping into the transfer pool, just like the bigger ones, but they'll dip into the transfer pool and their portal, and they're getting some older players. And when the higher ranked teams, the blue bloods, they're the ones who get the highly recruited high school players. They'll get the kids who will come out of school after their freshman year and head to the NBA. So they got the really talented players, but you'll have some of these lower seeded teams who have older players, who have the juniors, who have the seniors, who have the 5th-year seniors. And so think about it. You'll have an 18 or a 19-year-old sometimes going against a 22 or a 23-year-old. And look, when you're my age, a 3 or 4 year difference, we're all the same. When you're 19 or 22 or 23 years old, a 4-year difference, that's a very, very big deal. It's like boys against men. And so I think Boys to Men, by the way, shout out. What a group. I think you wind up getting some older teams who are playing against young men, and you can get some upsets like that.
I agree. I saw Boys to Men a couple of years ago open for Bruno Mars they are still as good as they've
Oh,
ever
they're
been.
phenomenal. I saw them a few years ago too. Phenomenal,
Right? Phenomenal. By the way, Bruno Mars is going to have a residency in Vegas. If you're there, I encourage you to see it. I have a really good Bruno Mars story sometime, not here. AB, great analysis by Z-Man. You have DG over there taking Wagner as they've already played once, and maybe they'll have that flow. When you look at the 16 seeds, which one do you think could say bye-bye after one game?
The 16s? There's only one way to go, and that is the squad that gave love to driving the line. And who am I speaking about?
Let's go.
Longwood, baby. Longwood is getting all the karma, all the love. I told you, I've got merch for all you guys. I'll mail it out to you from Longwood, our group. We absolutely love them. They have been just awesome with us. So like I said, look, I don't even have to say it. Go
Let's
Wood,
go.
dog. Let's go.
Let's
Longwood,
go.
baby.
It's a true story. Longwood in college basketball, they call us. And LSU in college baseball, they love us too.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at AB. He's all proud of
Wow.
himself with that shirt around the neck. Jason in the chat says, got to root for the team 20 minutes down the road. Go Longwood. We're Longwood all day, all night. Right here, DJ. We got our fandom. All right, let's go to the 15s because this is where really the upsets the last few years, DG, have started to happen. And when I look at the 4 number 2s, they're playing against Western Kentucky, South Dakota State. I hate abbreviations. Long Beach State and St. Peter's. Of those 4 teams, DG, where are you headed for a potential upset?
I really wanted to go St. Peter's just to make AB mad, but I couldn't put it in me, man. I put Tennessee as well, even though we really much, we're repping Memphis as our state, not Tennessee. But I'm going to go to South Dakota State is only because I don't trust Iowa State, but also their ceiling is so low because I don't know if they can score enough. And if for some reason that defense doesn't hold up and you can get out front of them, I think that's the only chance you really have. I don't see it happening, but I do see that there is the possible chance here. And if it's going to happen, it's going to happen to a team that really just can't score as much.
All right, say that one more time. One more time for those people. Who is your upset here, 15-2?
South Dakota State.
South Dakota State, SDSU. He said it twice. Now, AB, somebody in the chat is going with my pick. Excuse me. I'm going to go with Western Kentucky. Because Marquette all season, they're supposed to be this great defensive team, play up and down. You got Shaka Smart. It hasn't been that way. So I'm going to go with Western Kentucky as my 15 seed to knock off Marquette as the number 2 seed. Where are you headed, sir?
Let me say this. We were just talking about Longwood and showing love. A lot of my friends went to Western Kentucky. Shout out to Bowling Green. It is a phenomenal school, a phenomenal place. Great people up there in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Want to give them a shout out. They might be the best basketball team in the state. Yeah, Kentucky fans, I said it. But Western Kentucky is good. I'm going to go Long Beach, though, just because another person. EC, I'm sorry, buddy. I love you, but we're going with Long Beach.
Oh, man, EC.
Yeah, it's tough to trust Arizona, man. I'll go Long Beach State. But, yeah, man, hey, Western Kentucky, dude, that's another place. All the karma to the Hilltoppers up there. Absolutely love Western Kentucky.
Coach, if I could also add here, by the way, as far as Long Beach State, there's an awesome story with Long Beach State. Their head coach, Dan Munson, he was fired before the tournament. They went and he's been there for I think 12 years, longtime head coach of Long Beach State. They're saying they mutually agreed to part ways, but he was fired. They let him continue through the end of the season because they figured, all right, they'll lose early in the conference tournament. They won the conference tournament. They get the automatic bid. They're a 15 seed here. And now you got the lamest duck of lame duck coaches on the sideline. He's been fired. And he's the coach still going into the tournament here against Arizona. It's a pretty wild story.
You never hear of that. A coach getting fired and allowing him to stay on through the tournament?
I was just about to say, this is why human resources across the country says we end it today. We don't.
Right.
Wow.
You're gone now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Z-Man, I had no idea about that story. Literally no idea.
Yeah, Dan Munson is his name. It's a pretty cool story. So I'm rooting for Long Beach State. I hope they keep winning.
What if they go to the Sweet 16? How bad do they look? if they go to Sweet 16 or like the Elite 8. That would be amazing. Amazing. By the way, quick story, because Lydia's like, when are we going to get stories with the coach? AB, maybe we'll do like separate. I got a million of them, but this one's funny. You guys will appreciate this. Brent says Avery Johnson said Western Kentucky beating Marquette. Avery Johnson, one of my favorite people to ever work with at ESPN. Now, give me the four. I want to see the guy's face when I tell the story, so give me my 4 shot. And this really happened. You guys remember a few years ago, the Pistons job was open, right? Detroit. It's been open a few times. And his name was circulating as one of the favorites for the Detroit Pistons job. And we're sitting together in the green room because we were doing NBA Tonight together. And it comes up, an update says, well, Pistons job is still open. This guy, and Avery Johnson is rumored to be on that list. And I turned and looked at him. It was just the two of us. I go, Avery, I said, are you up for the Pistons job? He looked at me, he goes, Coach, do you know how much they're paying for that job? I said, I have no idea. He goes, $1.5 million. Coach, $1.5 million? I don't get out of bed for $1.5 million.
Wow.
I love Avery.
Okay. I guess you're not going to Detroit. And he ended up going to Alabama for like $4 or $5 million.
Yeah.
But I'll never. $1.5 million? Stop.
I was going to say that Alabama check's going to be way higher.
Oh my goodness! Oh, and you guys,
I'm sure you saw that accent was perfect. Like,
thank you. I told my Bruce Pearl the other day. I asked him when they offered him the Auburn job. Remember, he got booted on a show cause, which nowadays would be the dumbest thing ever, for having a barbecue in his backyard, and he got suspended, ultimately fired. And he gets hired, 6 years, $13 million. And I said, Bruce, what did you say to them when you went from out of college basketball to $2 million a year? What did you say? He looked right at me. He goes, Coach, I said, thank you. There was no negotiation. There was no back and forth. It was, I'll take the $2 million. And now look where Bruce Pearl is.
On that, to add one thing, think about, all right, because that was at Tennessee. And it was Thad Matta in Ohio State that turned him in for that, all right? The NCAA set up residency in the dorms in Knoxville. Think about these 3 coaches at that time that were on campus. Bruce Pearl, Lane Kiffin, and Ed Orgeron. All 3 were at Tennessee at that time. Yeah, it took 9 months, and everyone was gone.
God, the Ed Orgeron story is hilarious, too. When he got fired at LSU, he had $15 million left on his contract.
Which door do you want me to go out?
Yeah. He goes, we're going to pay you that $15 million. Okay, good. Have a good day. Oh, it's so funny to hear him tell that story. Oh, my. And that's what I've always said, guys, about college. I think big-time college coaching is the best racket in the game, because you get bounced, you still get your money, and you don't have to deal with all the BS that comes with it now. Like Ed Orgeron,
that's government money too. These schools are they're the highest paid employee of the state most of the time.
It's bananas.
That's government money.
It's bananas.
Yeah,
that's some good golf money.
Z, no kidding, right? Z, man, who was the coach? I'm embarrassed to say I can't remember his name. He coached Minnesota for a long time. He's passed away now, unfortunately. But he coached the Wizards. Oh my gosh, legendary coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Flip Saunders, yeah, you talking about
Flip Saunders, yeah, Flip Saunders. Perfect example of how. So those of you at home, since we're doing stories of how it works in coaching. So he was making $4 million a year. He gets fired. ESPN hires him. Well, it's not like you can go out and make $4 million and another $200,000 or $300,000. Yeah. It's called an offset. So I remember he came. They hired him for like 40 days. Let's say $4,000 a day. He gets to those 40 days because he wanted his name still out there. And they said, hey, you want to work some extra days in the playoffs? He's like, no, I'm good, because he didn't make an extra dime. All that money went back to the Wizards. And so he's like, I'm good. Got out of it what it is. So incredible. I love when the discussions go this way. Does it work for the same for you, Coach? Because you are the coach. Thank you, Urban. No, I actually have to show up to work to get no paycheck.
Hey, if any state would like to sponsor us, man, I mean, I'll gladly accept that money.
Hey. We are open for business.
So we're over the 40 days already?
Yeah. Correct. You're over the 40. Everything comes back to us. Melanie, thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button. For those of you who are not here at the top of the show, it's time for the Whip Around. always like it every now and then when the show gets off the track. I like story time. That's always kind of fun. All right, this is the part of the show that if you missed it, we do all of our picks in 10 or 15 seconds or less. Hence the name around, so you can get in and get out. But don't do that every single day because you'll miss a lot of good stuff in between, as you all know. But Daniel Greer, we go through all of our picks here. Start us off, sir.
Yep, Draymond Green, first quarter over 1.5 points. I love this play. My favorite play of the day. I believe he gets up to 8 points to answer a question in the chat. Then Indiana State, Milt Chamberlain himself, minus 6.5. And then the NBA parlay. It's just a double clean for Jalen Dern. And then a Pacers money line. I think they win that game easy.
Boom, boom, boom. Charles, go.
Yeah, NHL, Dallas Stars, Arizona Coyotes, the over 6. I wouldn't be opposed to the over 6.5 as well. Lastly, LA Kings, Minnesota Wild, under 5.5 goals.
And I've got 2 plays from the Valspar this week. Nick Taylor, minus 115, over Adam Hadwin in a tournament matchup. Nick Taylor has been playing great golf. He won in Phoenix less than 2 months ago. He is trending. Adam Hadwin, the last time you saw him, he was chucking his 5-iron into the water on 18 at the Players' Championship because he hit another ball into the water. I'll take Nick Taylor. And then Justin Thomas. He always plays really well at this golf tournament. Minus 130 over Tony Finau. Tony Finau's had an interesting schedule this year. He hasn't played this tournament in 6 years. I'll take JT tournament matchup minus 130 over Tony Finau. Z-Man, you're up.
Yeah, I think it's blowout city tonight on ESPN TV. Bucks, Celtics. I like the Celtics to win this one big, even laying 8.5 points. I think we're going to get a lot of points scored. The Celtics at home, they're murdering teams. So over 225.5. I think it's an easy one, actually.
And Howie Schwab is on Colorado minus 2.5 tonight, minus 110. Stay in that same game. Colorado, Boise State over 140.5, minus 110. Listen to what AB said. In the tournament games, they will foul all the way to the end, regardless of the score. And then San Francisco, this is an NIT game. Cincinnati, we're going under. Don't watch this game. Just cash the ticket. 142.5, minus 110. AB, bring us home.
Grambling State, Montana State, like they're playing in a Hy-Vee parking lot tonight. There are going to be points all over the board. Take the over 134.5. And shout out to our man, Scott. Made 2 G's last night. Let's go.
2 G's. Love you, Scotty. Love you, Scotty. Real quick, Z-Man, tell the good people where they can find you every single day.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Zaslow Show 2.0, wherever you get your podcast, Monday through Friday, every day. It's Miami sports-based, but obviously we hit on everything. So, again, search Zaslow Show 2.0 every day, Monday through Friday. It's the best show you've ever heard.
You're damn
right.
right.
How about that, Sal? How about that?
I love it, Sal. I love when we pump each other up, take each other to the top. That's what it's all about. DG, where are you at, big boy?
Yep, we're Grizz 901. I do all this betting and stuff for Bluff City Media for Bluff City Bets, but Grizz 901 is my passion. We do post-game shows for the Grizzlies. You can catch us tonight. It's going to be a late night tip going against the Warriors, so it's going to be a good game.
3-6 shout out right there. Let's go.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but the time that me and AB were on, highest rated show you've ever had. I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. All right. And you can find Charles every single day right here on Drive the Line, whether it's soccer or whether it's hockey. Any last words, Charles?
Yeah, we get international soccer back tomorrow, MLS this weekend. So never fear, soccer is back.
That didn't even rhyme, Charles.
I was looking for a rhyme.
Soccer is near.
I was looking for it. I thought it would come to me, and it normally does.
So, all right. So, real quick, Eminem, what he did pretty much his entire life, he would literally just read a thesaurus, right? And he was just working on rhymes constantly. He'd read it like it was a book. People are like, is this man insane? Like, what is he doing? But, yeah, there you go. Charles, we're going to send you one down.
By the way, real
Appreciate
quick,
that,
did you guys speaking of Eminem, did you guys see the skit on Jimmy Kimmel? If you haven't seen it, go to social media. He got Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, and Eminem to all do a skit called Dre's Anatomy, where they're doctors. And they make fun of Jimmy Kimmel's junk, I guess is the way to put it. It is so funny. I cannot believe he got all 4 of them in the same room and got them. If you haven't seen it, it's I'll retweet it. It was next level. I just saw it this morning. It was incredible. Gentlemen, as always, great show. Thank you for giving us the time and helping the universe grow. It is now time for the closing bell. Oh, I tell you what, we went 7 wide today, AB. We had Raphael and Howie in the chat. We got an incredible 5 wide here live on the show. That's how it works. That's how it works, huh?
It's fantastic, man. Absolutely. Loved it.
All right. So what are we rooting for the crew today?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, this is a metaphor for you. Well, you're going to have to show me here, producer man, real quick, because this is what we're doing. I'm following the crew blind today. All right, yeah, we're going Colorado -2.5, over 50% of the votes for the crew there in the poll. So, yeah, Colorado -2.5. That is the play. We're riding with the Buffs in the crew.
We're riding. Shout out to Scott. Everyone follow these guys. Best show, and it's not even close. Thank you very much. Joey says, who doesn't leave this show smiling? I got the answer. Nobody.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. Just getting your day started. Now, AB, we got all your college baseball stuff. Any final thoughts before I wrap it up with my one shot?
Yep. Today's the last day to join the March Madness bracket. You can still do it, obviously. So the link is in the show description below. Go ahead and join in. We'll announce all the prizes and stuff this coming week. We got plenty of time for that. But make sure to go ahead and get in. And you know what? We're going to have some fun doing it. We want to make sure it's all free. You don't have to be a premium member. You have to pay not a penny. You just come on in, have some fun. We'll take care of the rest.
You could have an opportunity to win an I Am a Howie's Homie t-shirt, sweatshirt. We haven't quite figured that out yet, but there is the QR code. I encourage you, because we're not a normal merch store. We'll bring it up. We'll take it down. You got to get in when you fit in. And I just put in my order yesterday. I don't even get them for free. I have to pay for them. AB, another good show, big boy. Great day on hump day. Have a great day. All right, sir. All right, producer man, thank you for the one shot. Remember, this is the time of the show where I tell you this. It's time for you to go out into the world. Pay it forward. Be kind to one another. Be honest with one another. And understand that we do it all together. So share the show. Hit the like button. That's how we grow, and that's how we bring everybody with us. So with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire crew, love ball. Do not forget about DTL Golf Live in your feed right now for the Valspar. My man Z, DG from Memphis. My man from the Dirty Charles. My 5-tool player, AB. Producer man, always behind the scenes, making the show look like $1 million. I am simply the coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. Is truly what we're all about every single day right here at Driving the Line. Good luck.